So I did a video on my lunch break, and I'm here to do another one because there have been some developments. There have been a couple of changes. For one, I bumped into a guy who used to work downtown, not necessarily in the building I was working in, but downtown. And he worked the EDD building. I did an overnight there once. In fact, that video's up here somewhere. And he was saying that once you get placed in an FTB building, which is like, you have to get cleared. Like, they have to like run your name and fingerprints, and like, they don't just let anybody in there. But once they let you in, it's very difficult, if at all, to get out. And when he said that, I took it as a personal challenge. I was like, all right, my nigga, hold my beer. Watch this. I'm going to work that out. But then my relief came to get me at 1:45, and she took my radio, and I walked back to the control room, and she was like, well, yeah, you can go. We're done. But I'm like, it's like 1:48. Like, that's even earlier than typically I would get off at other. But she's like, just go. It's fine. So that led, well, it played a part in the decision that I have made. You see, this job, first of all, simple as F. Like, I'm not working hard at all. Even on my hardest, like, oh man, I gotta be on my feet. Like, there's nothing hard about it. It's harder learning my way around the building than it is anything else. I've made an executive decision. This is a first world problem. Like, there are people who are dying for work. They would love to get in here and, have gainful employment. Meanwhile, I'm complaining about, out of an 8-hour shift, I had 2 spots that forced me to be on my feet for 4 hours. And then if you factor in my 2 15-minute breaks and my half an hour lunch, I was really on my feet for 3 hours, which out of an 8-hour shift, really not that bad. Like, my first post when I got there was outside of a thing where they come with the badges, and they boop their badges. See, I have a badge now. See, all right, nope, that's the Sam's card. This is me. You go boop, and you get into the building. So I just make sure that people have their badges. Like, the fact that you walked in means you have it. And it's not like we keep money or anything in the building. So it's not as though someone's going to try to break in and rob the place. So really, security is honestly just for show. So my first 2 hours, I was sitting there. Then I took my break, and when I came back, I had to stand out in front of a door, which people could walk in freely, but walking out, they had to use a badge, which I thought was really weird. But whatever. So in my next spot, I ended up outside, where I was kind of like, not necessarily even patrolling the building, but it was more, wow, that glare. It was more me standing by the door, enjoying the weather, Then from there, I was supposed to go to another spot where all I did was sit, but I ended up covering for somebody who had to do an incident report. There was an incident of some kind, and it didn't even concern me. Like, it had nothing to do with me. Somebody needed 911 or something. So that guy had to fill out an incident report. So I ended up standing by the door for about a half an hour waiting for him. And then when he came back, I took another break, but it was already 1 o'clock, So finally they come over to me and it's like, okay, well, let's take you over to your last spot. And they sit me down, and I'm literally just sitting in a chair. I'm in a seat, and I'm watching people come by with badges. That was it. Like, I can't imagine a world where that's difficult to people. And people, oh, FTB buildings, they serious. I think the problem is FTB buildings, they make you actually do shit. And by do shit, I mean you got to be on your feet. You can't be listening to your headphones at work. They don't give a fuck about your gossip. They not looking to, have girly conversations and shit. Everybody in that bitch came to work. And it's like, I tend to shine in buildings where everybody is kind of tacky and ghetto. And it's like, there's that one guy who seems like he's doing his job. That's me. So now, I'm in a building where everybody seems to be on their job. And I can see how people who don't want to work at work could be like, oh man, I don't want to work that building. But I'm looking at the benefits of the job. First of all, it's right down the street. Second, I got off at 1:45 when I was supposed to get off at 2. And as I was walking to the light rail was coming. Like, because of the app where I buy my tickets, I have a ticket all primed and ready to go. But because I'm really only going one stop over, all I really got to do is just hold off. If somebody were to get on and say tickets passes, I could push that button and then show them my ticket on my phone. But it may not ever get there because I'm only going one stop, especially in the morning, So I'm going to stop complaining. That's a first world problem. First world problem. Oh, I'm complaining about the job. I gotta sit down. I don't get to sit the whole day. What the fuck? That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I won't be that guy. And I'm not gonna complain anymore. I'm going to be content to do my job. Because it's easy. It's easy as shit. So I'm not going to bitch about how difficult it is when all I'm doing is sitting there. Oh, I pay for this? I'm going to go.